Hey, what is up, YouTube? It's Rich. All right, welcome to Countdown to Spawn 300. This is getting exciting. I have to be honest, I'm kind of enjoying looking at these comics. I haven't seen them in a long time, and this is really, really cool. So again, I have all these comics in my collection, and generally probably multiple copies, but I just can't afford to spend the time going through my storage looking for all my Spawn issues because they're in boxes that are kind of more protective sealed ones, so it's not that easy to like seek them out. One of the requests was to actually check out the Violator miniseries by I think he said it was Alan Moore and Bart Sears. Unfortunately, I couldn't find them, so I'm not able to do that. But what we're going to look at is we're going to look at Spawn 15. We're going to look at Spawn 16, which is Greg Capullo's first issue of Spawn. I checked out the Angela miniseries and I decided not to go with that because it's not Spawn heavy. And then we're gonna look at some Angel Medina, and then later today I'm gonna do Spawn 200 as we count down to Spawn 300, which drops tomorrow. So let's do this. All right. This is I'm a little confused. I thought well, we'll see what this is. I'm not 100% sure if medieval Spawn is purple, so I don't know what iteration of Spawn this is, but we'll see. I think medieval Spawn might have popped up in issue 9. So this is McFarlane, and I had mentioned some of his Spider-Man stuff. He would sometimes drop photos in the background of some of his pieces. But as you notice in Spawn, I mean, he never really shies away from doing this type of thing. And this is time consuming, honestly. Like, this is a small inset panel, which actually works quite nice. This was a classic thing for Spawn. Like, I would actually, when I would buy the comics, I would go home and I had a beanbag in my room. I would plop down in the beanbag and just, like, no music, no TV in the background. And I would just read all the comics that I got that day. It was a very, very fun time. And I wasn't drawing it really at all back then. I was just getting kind of like into it, and I had always drawn, but not comic book stuff. But I wasn't a big drawer anyway. But I remember these text pages would kill me. I would like turn the page and be like, "Oh shit, damn you, Todd! It's gonna take a while to read." So this is a nice panel, though. I actually really like it. So we got to hustle because we're going to try to go through 4 or 5 books here. This is really, really cool. Classic little McFarlane sort of cartoony characters. If you watched the video yesterday, it was really funny because I had the remembrance of him dropping Felix the Cat in. And I think the next page that I turned to had Felix the Cat. It was in the first version, the screwed up version of the 8, 9, and 10, which was a bummer. And I had to reshoot the 100 episodes, so it sucks. I can never record a video twice and have it as good as the first one. My first take with the narration is always the best. I just can't capture the magic twice. I'm a one take Jake. This is nice. This is really cool. This is good. I have to say that Spawn 100 issue was really, really great. This is nice. But again, you can see the level of detail that Todd is doing is you don't ever feel shortchanged. But man, they really ramped it up as it went along, and I'm curious to see these Angel Medina issues that I pulled up. This is nice. Todd does great little forest scenes. Like I said, he mixes I think this stuff is referred to as fauna, floral and fauna. I don't know what is fauna. Maybe I don't even know what that is. Floral sounds like flowers, and maybe fauna is trees. Or deer. No. Right. This is cool. Again, he's so good with 3D. I just love, like, everything is always jumping out of the shots with Todd, and stuff like this is cool. This is a cool shot. It's like he didn't, it's just like a suggestion of the legs come in the panel. Stuff is flying around. This is like dynamic. It's just exciting looking stuff. This is great. This is a really, really cool pose. And not an easy pose to do. This is subtle foreshortening. It's like if you had like say a 3D model of a pose like this, sometimes the size relationships are not accurate depending on the program and thing that you're using. But I mean, it's like there's a distortion that happens with a figure like this where sizes increase and decrease based on how deep they are in the space, and stuff like 3D. It just always looks stiff. You know, people try to hide it and bury it in their stuff, but it's pretty obvious, honestly. But you see more concept artists that are probably the best at doing it. But there's comic book artists I know for a fact use 3D. I've seen it for years. They don't ever admit it, coincidentally, because it's their dirty little secret. No, this is cool. It's like you can. It's interesting. Like as someone who draws and inks their own stuff, it's like I can totally see what he was doing here. It's like it looks like at times it got a little away from him, but it still works. This is nice. Yeah, he's got like he's going in with like some sort of a brush maybe and like spotting some of these blacks, and it's a good way to do it. It's very difficult actually to blend this type of thing in. I mean, there's obviously like these are like blood marks and whatever, you know, bruises or abrasions and stuff like that. But yeah, to go in with a brush and just sort of like start spotting in blacks and then render into it is a tricky way to do it. It's almost, to me at least, it's a little easier to render first and then fill in the blacks. Because if you do the blacks first, it can sometimes look a little weird. It's like outlining blacks. It's a risky proposition. This is nice. Great position here. This is going to be really fun seeing Greg's first issue. I glanced at it last night just to find which was the first one because I couldn't remember the issue number. But I think he did 2 in a row. The content was a little different. I remember the story was like, didn't feel like this kind of Spawn material. We'll see. This is nice. He's always great with the capes. These long panels that Todd does, I've always liked. Like, I think he does it really, really well. Yeah. You know, it's just, okay, so like, just the amount of stuff that we've seen this one comic book. If I went to a comic book store and saw, we'll come back to this in 1 second, and I saw this cover, and I would go like, this looks cool. Like let me flip through this book and see what's going on. I mean, this is a freaking decapitated head on a sword. It's gonna catch your eye. The colors are great. It's like exciting looking, and I'll go back to this page. Sorry, 14. But just flipping through those first 14 pages, there's so much cool stuff going on. How would you not buy this if you're looking for an exciting comic? I mean, that's the thing is, how many times have you picked up a comic and you flip through it and you go, there's just no exciting pages? I hated the transition from this kind of stuff to like, oh well, we'll put so and so in costume in like 5 pages of this 22-page book because it's like the fans expect it. It's like, no, I want this all the time. This is what I want out of a comic book. I want a good story. Don't confuse it. But it's like, I don't need like people in offices talking about doing stuff or whatever it is. Shit is boring. It's like, it should be the other way around. That should be like the thing that you're forced to have to do. Like, it's like, all right, we'll do 5 pages of story, but then everything else is going to be double-page spreads. People fighting. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I felt like I got tricked. I used to joke and say that was the thing. Is like, I got into comics to do this, and then comics changed. Not completely. I've done a lot of different books, but it's like, I mean, it's just so annoying when you like are working on a book and you're like, all right, where's the freaking action? What's going on? Give me story. Give me cool stuff. Especially now, I think it's even more important. And again, I want a good story with good art. So this is Capullo's first issue. This is really going to be interesting because Greg evolves so much on this series. Even his signature is a little conservative compared to what happened later. He went from like a young Padawan to a master. And so we've got Dan Panosian Inks and Art T. Bear. It's very, very cool. They're both very talented artists. I was always confused about this too. This is really interesting because my recollection of Dan was that I did always I thought he started as an inker, but then I think he did Prophet where he penciled ink himself. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's do this. Right. So this is nice. This is cool. Again, it immediately felt a little Unspawn-like to me. Just the story. Like, I hadn't seen these characters. It was a little more tight. I mean, they've got the detail and the little rendery stuff, but it's like it just didn't feel as gritty as Todd's stuff. Still well drawn overall. Like, it's not bad. But and I had talked about size relationships in the other video, but it's like he's got huge and then more huge. A little medium and small would have definitely helped this page a little bit. I mean, this is a spread. I mean, it could have been a spread. But yeah, it's like it's a little one note. Not the best face. I hate to be critical of Greg's stuff because he's so freaking good. But, you never know the deadlines on stuff like this. This is actually very, very nice. This is great. This is really nice too. That's a tough shot. Looks kind of Jim Lee-esque there. And, probably at the time, Greg did have different influences. It's very difficult for me to speculate on what Greg was into at this time. But when he got that McFarlane gene, the genome was instilled in him. He got really, really good. Great. I'm telling you, he's one of my favorite comic book pencilers for a long time. I think the guy is incredible. So any critiques of this early work is like anything. Everyone grows and gets better. This is nice. This is good. It's a little stiff. It looks a little 90s image, and this isn't as dynamic as stuff got. He's got the folding cape. It just doesn't sell it the way McFarlane does. It's little things like just the position of it and the stretch on these pieces of fabric can really make a big difference. I think these are very conservative shapes that are all kind of similar, even though they're different sizes. There's not a level of dynamic and stretch to them, and like a little subtle thing like that can take something one or two routes. This is stretched better. This is more dynamic. This is creating tension. This kind of relaxes it, and then there's a level of speed to that's better. This is a great panel too. This is really nice. Let's see. Hobo's good. This is cool. Could use a little more grit on this stuff, but, again, it's not easy to do the inks that Todd McFarlane did, and I think that people were aware of Todd, but there was a lot going on at this time. This is probably 1993 or 94, and you've got just everything is, like, image style, but image style meant a lot of different things. There was definitely some similarities, but you know what I mean. There weren't a ton of people doing McFarlane. In fact, it was still a real small handful. There was a guy named John Cleary, as someone mentioned. Angel Medina, but who was? There was a couple of other ones. I mean, even Ethan Van Sciver, I think to a small extent, had a little bit of McFarlane in his stuff at one point. Who was the other artist I'm thinking of though? There was like one more. Maybe even it's like Scotty Young back then, but it would be hard to remember. This is nice. I like this. This is really good too. I almost get a sense of a little bit of Mark Silvestri in his stuff, which is interesting because as Greg got better, I made a few references in 100 to Mark Silvestri. So, Mark was great, and Mark is yeah. You know what? This does have a little bit of a Silvestri kind of vibe to it. Mark of the original Image founders is a super stud. He's really, really freaking good. There's like natural ability that Silvestri has in his work. It feels Silvestri-ish, but just not at the level of Mark. Mark is he's kind of a phenom in a weird way. And this is just kind of classic Image style, but it does have a little bit of a Silvestri kind of thing going on, Cyberforce-y. But yeah, all these guys were really, really talented. Yep, this is nice. That's nice. Be a tough shot. It's like the anatomy is almost too good. Too clear. Okay, anti-Spawn. Okay, so this is the anti-Spawn, and then I don't know who was on the cover. Interesting. I was almost thinking that this was medieval Spawn, but who knows? It's been a long time. I don't remember. It's okay. So, okay, now we're going into Angel Medina, and this is Capullo too. Yeah, so he did 2 issues. That's what I thought. Okay, so Grant Morrison wrote this. I didn't realize that. So it is interesting because I had said, Todd has the notoriety of that. Spawn is going to surpass Dave Sim on Cerebus for independent comic going that far. But the one difference that I think is truly significant is that Dave Sim wrote and drew his own book the whole time and lettered it, if I'm not mistaken, the whole time. That's a lot of freaking work. Todd didn't always work on Spawn. That is a huge distinction, and I think in fairness, Dave Sim still deserves a tremendous amount of respect. All right, so this is a Capullo Mickey cover, and this is Spawn 127. But this is Angel Medina interiors. So let's get to this. I don't want this video to be too long because we're gonna have a second upload. But I mean, this is a great cover. I mean, and this is Capullo when he's just flying. He's doing great stuff. The confidence is there. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's bringing it. So this is Pencils Angel Medina. Inks, Danny Mickey, Victor Olazaba, Alan Martinez, and Crime Lab Studios, which I believe is Danny Mickey's assistants. So he even had like a sticker or something he would stick on the pages when he would ink them that said Crime Lab Studios. So this is nice. Medina stuff is interesting. I mean, he did some Kiss stuff and Sam and Twitch, and I've seen him popping around on different books. He's got a very kind of exaggerated like structure for figures at times, but this looks cool to me. Like, I like this. This is nice. The colors are great. Yeah, the colors are very, very nice. And these are interesting palettes. Is this, let me go back one. I just want to see if it's colors. Brian Haberlin. Yeah, Haberlin's good, man. He really is a talented guy. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Sorry, it was like locking up. But yeah, these are nice colors. It's hard to work with this fruity of a color palette and actually make it look appealing. But this stuff is nice. Yeah, this guy's good. He's really good. The layouts are interesting, but it's very stylized. This is stuff that you can get sometimes criticized for because the characterization is a little extreme, but clearly the guy knows how to draw. This is an intentional look that he's giving the people because he knows anatomy, he knows perspective. I mean, it's like these are choices that he's made at some point that he's going to draw characters' faces like that, and it could be him trying to channel Todd, like that's how he sees Todd through his filter. And then he puts a little spin on it because these are kind of McFarlane faces, but it's a little weird, but it doesn't bother me. If the story's good too, you really get kind of sucked into it, and then it works. This is interesting. So I wonder if these must all be 2-page spreads. A lot of double-page spreads in this book. The next issue has got a lot of action. So, and this is great, man. Oh, this is really good. That's a really nice shot. Again, he's mixing up his sizes. I don't want to get into a whole storyteller spotlight thing, but again, you've got small, medium, and then large. Very important. It really makes your pages more exciting. Like if you had a measuring stick and you measured the points of interest, you want those sizes to move around. Man, this guy is good. His storytelling's great. Really, really nice. Damn. That's really nice. Dude, this looks so sick. It reminds me a little bit of the Jay Lee Hellshock look. Oh, man. I love this. God, and the colors are great. This is awesome. Ooh, sexy McFarlane lips. Or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this looks good. This is really nice. I'm liking this a lot. He's doing some real good stuff. Yep. Man, a lot of drawing. Oh, man. Spawn. So this is an interesting issue. I wonder what the deal is with all double-page spread. The colors are so good. Man. It's very lush. That is really cool. Man, I don't know why, but I'm loving this little area right here, and this looks great too. This is really, really nice. That's a great shot too. Really cool angle. It's like almost kind of curvilinear. Not well, it's got a little curvilinear. It's a 3-point perspective shot, but he's got a little bit of curve here, so you're getting a little bit of like the fisheye kind of thing going on. It's nice though. Your vanishing points are. Okay, we're going to do one more of Angel stuff, and then I'm going to do 200. I'm going to record it right after this, but I'll have this be its own video, and then we'll do it. But was this the one I was looking at? Maybe. Oh, so another Capullo cover. So this is Spawn 128. Again, I always highly, highly recommend pick these up in comic book form. As nice as these digital versions are, the comic books just smoke them. These are nice big files, though. The digital Spawn would definitely be worth picking up. You could probably, you know, purchase them at McFarlane.com. Let's see. I think this was. Okay. Oh wow, man, that's cool. Yeah, this guy, he got to do a lot of double page spreads. I like it. Well, you know, and this is kind of a good example of comic books that had a lot of I don't know, but like pedestrian scenes, but they're still pretty visually appealing. Like this guy knows how to draw it. Wow, rendering's crazy. That's interesting. I'm not really digging the inks here, to be honest. It's a little too. I understand what happens though, is the penciler draws it like this, and you're kind of forced to do it. But yeah, it's a little, looks a little like Triscuits to me, like the texture on Triscuits. Cool shot. But yeah, these are he's making scenes. Travis is real good at this too, although Travis doesn't draw like this style, but Travis could take things like this and just the shot that he picks, the little attention to detail on little things like, you know, you throw in one fancy pillow, a cool book, you know, nightstand or something like this, and it adds a lot of charm and character. It's a real, like, the way you dress your sets is important. This is a nice shot. I didn't see who was inking this issue, but it's yeah, not as strong as the other inks. I have a hunch who it might be, though, actually, based on the style. This is good. And again, you never know the deadlines on this stuff. Sometimes, you like, especially back in these eras, you would get creamed sometimes with deadlines. Like, books were always late, and so it was like, you know, hey, can you do 6 pages over the weekend? You're like, oh, seriously? This is nice. Man, I love stuff like that. I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot from looking at these issues, and just the sort of the last few weeks that I've been active on YouTube. I feel like I've really gotten a lot out of it. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that you're into everything that you see, but it gives you a lot of information to sort of like filter through and kind of make your own decisions. Big shot. That's a nice. I don't know which ones. I think this is Twitch and this is Sam. Oh man, that's crazy. Man, that's so cool. It's really, really nice. But you can see how this was inked a little bit differently, and it looks a little more comfortable, although I would pretty much guarantee that he did kind of the same line work on this, but just handling it with a little more fine lines and stuff like that actually really did kind of help it. This has got a little more texture to it. This is nice. Like, I could deal with this for a book. The other stuff, not so much. It will look a little amateurish. Sorry if you're the inker that inked that page and you watch this. We all get better. Trust me. I've got some dogs in the closet too. I did plenty of horrible issues early on. I would have to do like 12 pages in a weekend kind of stuff. It sucked. Ken Lashley and we got just decimated on Wetworks. The deadlines were so bad. I don't know if like he wasn't getting script or what was going on, but it felt like every issue that we did, I would end up having to do the whole book in like 3 days. Like I would do 5 pages in like a normal amount of time, and then the other the other 15 in like, a weekend. It's just nuts. I don't know what you two are doing out there. My cats are like fighting or something is going on in the living room. This is pretty cool though. He rendered that a lot. That's wild. I kind of want to do one more of these. I'm hoping that he did the next one. Let's see. This was the issue that I looked at. Okay, I was a little confused. So this is the real actiony one, and this is yeah. Let's look through this one, and then we'll end it. I must have gone back too. This issue has a lot of really big drawings. That was the one thing I noticed. I was looking for the Angel stuff, and this was the first issue that I found. Yeah, there's a lot of really big drawings on this. But again, so here's a page where you basically, it's like the script is, Sam and Twitch find a body in the alley, and they discuss it with the commissioner, and he's jaded and da. But this guy really did some very, very fun and interesting storytelling. And again, he's probably piggybacking off of Capullo, who now at this point had already done an incredible run on the book. So he's established a lot of these type of shots, and once you kind of are aware that, like, hey, you can handle this stuff in a more interesting way, it helps everyone. So, credit to McFarlane and then ultimately Capullo for some very, very like forward thinking, like storytelling ideas, because they both brought so much to the table, not only as individuals but as a team. This is cool. It's kind of, this almost has a little bit of a Sam Keith vibe. Keith was another really, really talented artist. Man, that's great. I definitely want to check out more of Angel's stuff now. I would do a super fun Sunday on him. Sorry, I'm like distracted. The cats are like, I don't even know what is going on. This is nice. Yeah, the inkers that are inking him are doing like the lines are a little too big. I would almost like to see a little more fine detail on this stuff, and I think it would actually lighten it a little bit. It's pretty heavy-handed. I like that though. Like, that's interesting. It's very kind of schizophrenic, but I don't know. Some of this stuff is a little. It's nice. Now I'm focused on, like, this is nice, Brad. Man, that pose this guy is in. Holy shit. So what am I even seeing? Okay, so his legs are here and his hands are there. Man, that is wild. It's his ass. Whamp to the ass. But there's a foot, there's the other foot, and the hands are right there. That is crazy. The gun is at a cool angle. Spawn's at a cool angle. It's like his toes. And this is cool too. Yeah, this is nice. Enough. And look at that. Action. Man, he's got stuff flying everywhere. But yeah, this is what got me excited about comics. This kind of stuff. But, you do have to mix it up, though. You can't have all that, or then you kind of desensitize the reader to it. So you need the slower beats for sure. I'm not, like, delusional with that. This is cool. This is cool. That's interesting. It's pretty cartoony. His face got really flat there. That's weird. Like, that is not on a perspective plane, but I guess, I don't know, is he like in some sort of bizarro form? I don't know what is going on. Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing Spawn 200. I can't remember for the life of me who worked on it, but it'll be fun. It's going to be a good video, so definitely stay tuned, and hopefully this is ramping up your Spawn Mania. And I tonight am going to order the Spawn Vault Edition number 2, collecting issues 8 through 15, I think. It's going to be good, man. There's some really, really good issues in there. I'm excited about it. But, yeah, I'm going to put the order in tonight for that. Okay, so we're going to end it there. Thank you guys all very much. Todd McFarlane, Angel Medina, Greg Capullo, Danny Mickey, RT Bear, Victor Olazaba, Alan Martinez, everyone. Thank you guys for your work on Spawn. And if I missed anyone's name, I apologize. Brian Haberlin for the amazing colors. Yeah, you guys brought it. This is cool. Let's just take a peek in this one. I can't stop. This is Medina again. All right. We'll look at 3 pages. Just for fun. Ooh, that's a nice establishing shot. Bam, look at that. I'll look at comic books that have this kind of stuff in it all freaking day. But you don't see this much good stuff. That's the problem. It's a nice spread. All right, we're going to go one more, and then that's it. All right, so that's it. We're going to stop this. All right, I'll see you guys with the Spawn 200 video in just a bit. All right, have a great day. Talk to you later.